everyone! Today I'm going to be lettering on my state edition of my Bounce Lettering worksheets. I also have some ABCs and all 4 seasons available in the shop already. So in this introduction, I talk a little bit about myself and some of my recommended brush pens for lettering. I also give some tips on what to do if you're using the iPad Pro. So then I go through some of my tips I have for bounce lettering, and I'll walk you through some of those later on in this video. Here's a flip through of all 50 states. So to start off today, I'm going to be using the Crayola Super Tips. These are great for lettering. They're cheap and I don't have to worry about them getting frayed or anything like that. I will say, however, they do seem to lose their shape pretty quickly if you press down too hard. The downstrokes from these markers are a little bit thicker than the ones on the worksheet, but they still work fine. You'll notice that my I and Z don't connect, and that's because I don't like the regular cursive Z, and I wanted to show you that you don't necessarily have to always connect the letters for your lettering to still look fine. If you don't want to do the normal typical Z that you always see, you can do this one and it's still gonna look good. I just feel like I can read this faster and easier than the cursive Z. I'm going to use the Faber-Castell small brush next. If you continue to use this one on printer paper, it will start to fray, but if you're just using it once or twice, it's going to be fine. I would recommend using it on tracing paper or a smooth cardstock. I don't believe this marker was intended for lettering, but I might be wrong. They're a little bit larger of a brush tip than the Tombow Feud, but not quite as large as the Tombow Duo brush. When you're bounce lettering, you want to take into account the cap height, the X height, and the baseline. Lowercase letters fit between the X height and the baseline. Lowercase letters like H and T fit between the cap height and the baseline, as well as capital letters. Letters that go below the baseline are called descenders. For example, that would be like the G. So let's go through the word Massachusetts. With traditional lettering, the M would all fit between the baseline and the X height, but in this I have the 2 humps going at different heights. For the A, I like to have it start above and dip down. Then you're going to have 2 S's in a row, so you want them to be different sizes. That's typical for any double letter. I usually never make 2 letters in a row be the same size, so whatever I can do to change the size of one will help make the difference for me. C's, I almost always leave them the normal size since there's not really that much of it to change up, and if you make it too large, it's just going to look disproportionate. For the H, I started off normal and then anchor it to the baseline, and then I dip down for the second stroke. For the double T's, I like to have them be slightly different sizes, just like the 2 S's. I'm going to show you how Ohio would be written if it was traditional calligraphy, but in the same style as my bounce lettering so you can see a true comparison. The O's and I's fit between the X height and the baseline, but for the bounce lettering version, I move the letters around a little bit. I also keep in mind that I don't want both O's on either end to be the exact same size. You don't want all of your letters raised, but you also don't want all of them lowered. You want a balance throughout the entire word. It definitely takes practice to know when and where to bounce your letters, but I hope these worksheets will help you out. You can also use these worksheets on the iPad Pro and Procreate. I just create a new layer and draw right over it. The awesome thing is you can change the size of the brush you're using to make it fit the downstrokes of the worksheets. I also like that you can use different brushes in Procreate, so these worksheets are good for learning how a new brush works or for warming up. Sometimes I get so used to the one brush I always use that it's nice to practice a little with a new brush. I would love it if you went and checked these worksheets out. The link is down below, and have a great day.